This question of the week is life or death. This person here, they're about to die and they need to know what to do to help their family. This is a tough subject, but man, it gets into the details, and these are some things that everyone needs to do. So, without further ado, here we go. As stated above, I probably have less than a year to live. I'm not looking for any pity, and I've seen similar posts like this in the past. I stupidly do not have any life insurance, but I have some significant liquid assets, approximately $150K in savings and $100K in my 401K plan. I recently found out about my fate and would like to set up my wife in the best way possible. I don't have any will in place, and frankly, I have really no idea where to start. I'd like some advice on my best possible options. Appreciate it. Okay, so this is going to be a quick one, but a deep one, because this is a person who, it's tough. I just want to start out by saying I'm sorry. Like, this is an awful place to be, and I think that, when you're in these moments, this is rock bottom. This is where the biggest impact could happen. And so, my heart goes out to you, especially to your wife, and I just want to make sure that we're providing something of value here. So where to start is potentially an estate lawyer. You could start there. You said you have some liquid assets. I don't know if you've got any other sort of tangible assets where you've got a car, house, all this kind of stuff. An estate lawyer is going to be worth it because they're going to ask those kind of questions. They're going to unpack what your real liabilities and assets are that you're providing. And so get a will. You need to have a will. You can do one of these things online for like next to nothing. Depending on the state you're in, you could just write something out, have it signed. You don't even have to have it notarized in some places. You need a plan in place to protect your wife. Make sure that your wife knows exactly what you have, how to get to it. We're talking about documents, information, a power of attorney, passwords, logins, all that kind of stuff. And get her named on all these accounts. And so if you've got a savings account, if you've got a checking account, if you've got a 401k, then she needs to be both the beneficiary and she needs to be named on these accounts as a signer so that it makes her process as smooth as possible. Now, a good planner, a good estate planner, a good money coach, a good advisor is going to help you make sure that you check those boxes, okay? And that's something that, we can provide a list of, a checklist for you to kind of go through, and, at request, we can provide one of those directly, but the transfers can be as painful or as smooth as you want to make them. So that's where I want to start you with. Now, also, talk to a CPA or two, because there could be some major tax advantages or implications to liquidating things now. We're at the end of the year in 2022, or over the course, if you've got a year to live, then depending on when you do that now or in the future, that could have a major impact. So, a CPA would be able to really speak into those tax implications to the moves that you're going to be making. It can mean something like taking a 401k loan out now to minimize the taxes later on after death, something along those lines. But again, this is something that I would not want to put on my loved one's shoulders for them to walk through alone. You want to make sure that when they have questions and they think to themselves, I don't know what to do, I'm in an emotional wreck, I'm in a bad place, and I have to make a tax decision, that's got to be the worst place to be put in. So to have someone in their corner that they know, well, I can turn to this person who I trust and who knows what they're doing and can speak into a tax problem when it comes up. So having a good tax pro, having a good estate lawyer, having a good financial advisor, having a good money coach is going to be, these kind of people are going to make the difference for you and your loved ones, and also prevent anything that could end up hurting in the long run as too. So planning for her financial future is great, and you should absolutely do that. But also, while you're healthy enough, if you're able to do something now, I think the best ROI for some of this money, once you have a plan in place and once you've had professionals speak into it and bless some of those decisions, I think it's time to spend some of that money and go enjoy your time that you have together, because you can, I'm getting misty just thinking about it, you can really create some memories that are going to be worth more than any amount of money that you could leave behind for your wife. And so, you know, if it's a few hundred or a few $1,000s that you can spend to create some of those memories, if you're able to travel, if you're able to bucket list. I'm talking, it's time to start doing that stuff. I mean, I don't know, create a GoFundMe, because you know that you have a life-changing thing happen. It's going to be traumatic. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be a trial by fire situation, and you want to make sure that they're set up, not just financially, but, you know, you want to leave them with the best possible memories that you have together. So if I were to have some recommendations, if you're able to travel and you've always wanted to go to, let's say, 1 to 3 places, then I think it's time to do that. And if you're not able to because of your health, then there's so many ways that you can create memories together and still have some really profound shared experiences. And one of those, for sure, is to record your voice and your face. You know, if you know, so many people are uncomfortable in front of camera. I'm uncomfortable in front of camera. You know, part of me hates doing this and part of me loves it. But, you know, if you're able to sit in front of the camera and take some of these thoughts down, there's some great different resources online for sharing parts of your life and your thoughts and your experiences. And to take some of those memories and to document them and record messages directly to your wife for some of those best and worst times. So I want you to go, oh my gosh, I'm gonna start crying just thinking about this. I want you to go and set up a camera and record a video for every 5-year anniversary that you'll have with your wife. So when you and your wife hit your 5, 10, 15, 20, 25-year anniversary, I want you to record a message specific for those time periods. I want it to be heartfelt, just real, encouraging, and just be honest with who you look forward to her becoming, even when you're not there in person. And so, you know, I don't know what you believe about the afterlife. I don't know what you believe about where your faith is. I think that's hugely important, and frankly, I think those beliefs are going to inform who you are and how you respond to challenges just like this. I think that your faith is going to basically, you know, is going to direct your actions and your beliefs and your, you know, your behaviors in the hardest of times. And I can't think of a much harder time than this for the next year, but you can really transform it into a beautiful time. And so that would be my my start to finish recommendations for what you would do in a situation like this. And I'd love for you viewing this to sound off in the comments. I know there's a lot of things that we cover that I wish I would have, like when it comes to like a term life insurance policy for your wife, or I wish I could have when it comes to having some of these things already in place in case something unexpected or unplanned or tragic happens in a loved one's life and leaves the other person, you know, alone in a situation like this. So that we can take a lot of lessons from this on what to do and how to prepare to have those right people in your corner, to have all that information ready to go in an accessible way, to make sure that she has access to everything she needs to, so that when those transfers happen, that they're as smooth as humanly possible. And, you know, and she's going to need support. She's going to need counseling and friends and family and loved ones, and she's going to need people that are able to guide her mental, spiritual, physical, emotional well-being in the next chapter of her life. And so preparing for that financially and logistically and relationally is going to be it's just going to be something that makes all the difference in their life. And those are the kind of things that you want to be prepared for, regardless of whether you know something good or bad is going to happen. To have that base foundation is going to make, you know, the worst parts smoother. And if you can lower the burden in the valley, then it's going to ease your ascent onto the mountaintop of your experiences. And so planning for her financial future is great, and you should absolutely do that. Focus on all the other aspects of your wife's well-being, you know, for the rest of her future, and that's going to be what really changes the dynamic of how the next year goes for you. So I'd love for you watching this to comment and share your thoughts about some other things I may have forgotten and that would benefit a person in this situation. And finally, click on this link for a previous Q&A where we had a weird utility bill situation that I think any of us can benefit from.